What's up, guys? James here once more with the subject supposed to speak. So, I'm going to start this one off with some original poetry once more. This is inspired by Hermann Hesse's Steppenwolf, one of my favorite novels of all time. And it is entitled The Immortals. And here it goes. Without any further ado, The Immortals. Then rapture comes upon the dreary path, when plagued by flea bites, sickness, and despair, and I am thrust so high above the air to the immortals' abode in the stars, wherein unearthly calm quenches the wrath, whose burning heat still glows within my scars. And so I mingle with them there and laugh, amid the clusters, nebulae, and belts, whose cool bright light shines happily and melts my frustrations that always coalesce, and with their magnitude now cut in half, my griefs and pains no longer need redress. And there, among them wise, beneficent, eternity turns round and whole for me, ceasing thereby to be a mere idea, for what only ever seems a moment. My spirit laps with that which sets it free, as if a dying fish returned to sea. But before long, I'm thrust back down to earth, packed once more in the miry clay of time, and I have no recourse then but to mine the words of those who haunt me with their dearth. We welcome your visits with great relief, for timelessness can be a stifling thing, if it is left untouched by all belief and doubt, as which belong to mortal beings. And so with you, who seeks his most must learn to live more fully in his loathsome flesh, to become incarnate, and to enmesh himself in love to those who dimly yearn for that which can be neither touched nor seen. This is the only way that you will ever find your peace. The light we give you, you must learn to give away, and fill with giving each and every day, if its radiance is ever to increase. So what's up with that? I feel like a bit of a narcissist reading a poem I wrote and then giving commentary on it, but what the fuck? That's kind of what this whole thing is about, is giving commentary on something that's already familiar to you. It's about me trying to make myself understood. So yeah, so the speaker, right, in this poem, uh, he's talking about a moment of rapture he experiences in his kind of dreary life, where he's thrust up into the abode of the immortals. Okay, so what's this about? Um, you have these experiences in life where it's like things seem really shitty for a while, dreary, boring, miserable, and all of a sudden something just catches you for a moment and you're elated. It can be the simplest, stupidest thing. It can be as simple as somebody smiling at you. It can be as simple as a single pleasant conversation. And, whatever it is about these moments that grip us, right? And sort of, for me, it's in reflecting on those moments that I'm sort of thrown up into this place, this timeless place where, I cease to act and I cease to be concerned with going about my business as a human being of flesh and blood, and I become spiritualized, right? I become sort of, time stops. You start to contemplate whatever it is that seems to have been the source of your joy, and it becomes a meditation on joy, and it becomes an occasion for you to reflect on your memories, your life, and to help you to remember that things aren't always that bad, and that sometimes things are actually really good. This is it's a fairly common experience for me, when sort of misery gives way momentarily to elation, to ecstasy. And so, but it always ends, and you sort of fall back down into the workaday world into, the miry clay of time, as the speaker puts it. And that is when, you have to figure out a way to remind yourself, right, that, one of the ways in which you can preserve and hold on to those feelings of hope and joy and ecstasy is to share your experience of them with others, right? Is to share what light that you've been given, and to bring light to other people's lives. And that's kind of, to me, that's the sort of sense in which the idea of immortality makes sense, right? I don't believe literally that, we go on after we die as individual selves, but what joy that we have and what knowledge that we have, what experience, what learning, what lessons, what truths we know, just by sharing these things with others. And this is why education, I think, can be such a gratifying endeavor. And the same with I think psychology, which is of a piece with education, though I think the clinical or practice psychology or counseling psychology, it differs, in a very real way. You're not trying to impart knowledge per se about something external. You're trying to help somebody come to grips, as a professional psychologist, right, with a knowledge about themselves that they may not have otherwise had the occasion to experience. But the principle still applies, right? And it even applies for the person who is undergoing, psychotherapy, in sharing both their pains and their joys with their analyst, or with the person who who's supposed to know, the meaning of their symptoms, or whatever, right? They're bringing light into their lives. They're bringing light into the world. They're illuminating the darkness, right? And I think speech and language, fundamentally, that's what it's about, right? There's a certain violence that we do to the ineffability of our experience every time we try and talk. And poetry is all about that conflict, right? And negotiating it, because poetry tries to get around the necessity of chopping our experience into bits and butchering it with language by using certain kinds of devices and methods to actually point to the ineffable, to allude to that which can't be spoken about. And certainly that's what I'm attempting to do with this poem, right? And the words are impoverished compared to the actual experience, right? The words are just a reflection. But when you're actually in the business of helping, of teaching, of imparting something good, or of just bearing witness, to someone else's pain, there's something so powerful in all these things that we do with each other, that we can do with each other as human beings. And yeah, that's what it's about, as far as I'm concerned. That's what we're trying to get at here on the subject supposed to speak. We're trying to talk about these sorts of things, and to try and facilitate this kind of stuff. Not just for me in my own life, right? But for anybody who might listen, and who might see, who might have an ear to hear and an eye to see, the importance of these kinds of interactions, and trying to act intentionally with respect to our relationships with each other. That's really what it's about. trying to not let these sort of automatic, unconscious patterns just fully dictate the way we go about our days and our lives, in work and at love. We want to be awake and aware. Uh, Easier said than done, but there it is. We're just a little past the 10-minute mark. I think that's good for now. I'm going to stop it there. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.